Aloha. Well, it's amazing to be here first of all, and to speak in front of my own island, the people of Maui. Maui, such a beautiful place that we live in, and we are so blessed, aren't we? And my journey that I want to share with you uh, evolves around the ocean, and I want to dedicate my talk today to my grandfather. Um, I'm five generations from Maui, and it was it was growing up. He really shared his knowledge and his passion of the water with us, all of his grandkids. And I remember early on just listening to him and saying, I want to be like, I want to be like him. He had so much knowledge of the ocean and the fishing grounds. And I think that was the beginning of my catalyst of what I wanted to do in life. And that's where it all began. This is one of our new toys. This is called Subsquatch. And what better way to share your passions with your friends? And what this really is a giant inflatable surfboard. And we do nothing but laugh when we ride waves on this thing. People think we're crazy when they see us paddling out, but they experience the sharing of intimacy with the ocean. This is what it is. Canoe surfing. What this really means to me is it allows me to sharpen my skills. It allows me to perpetuate my culture. What people don't realize is a surfing canoe, for you to be able to navigate and surf a canoe on a wave, not just ride the wave, but actually surf the wave, there's a lot of knowledge that goes into that. And the reason being is because you have to be on the lineup every single time. You have to know the lineup. You have to be able to study the winds. The winds, the exactly where you need to be is a big part in your success of actually riding the wave or flipping over on the wave. And this is right outside of here, Pier 1, on a good day. And this is my true passion, is canoe surfing. It's not big wave riding, but my true passion is canoe surfing, because I can take my friends that would never attempt to go ride a wave. I can take them in the canoe, keep them safe, and have them experience that initial thrill of what it feels like dropping down a wave. And that's a wonderful gift that Hawaii has to offer to the world. Through my journey in life, I've tried to use the ocean as my playground, and to be able to have many venues to enjoy the ocean. And one of my very good friends taught me how to tandem surf in Waikiki, and I was just so fortunate enough to take it to the next level. I think it was in 2001, Nicole Spaulding, who's from this island, we went to the World Championships and got second in the world for tandem surfing. This is Honolulu Bay, and one day we paddled out and the waves were really big, and everybody was looking at me like, Archie, what are you doing? You're crazy. And I tell everybody, anytime I come into contact with anybody that I see fear in their eyes in the ocean, is I tell them, don't be afraid. Look at me. I'll take good care of you. And that has allowed me to share take people out of their comfort zone and let them experience what it's truly like to enjoy the ocean. Now, don't go out and try this. In the year 2000, how many of you guys watched the show Jackass? Raise your hand. Anyway, the guy that's the animal advisor in the show Jackass. His name is Manny, and we did the show. And in this show, it was about taking this girl and having her swim with the tiger sharks. And I learned so much, but I thought it was career suicide, because if this girl got bit, as an ocean safety officer, I'm done. But it was really interesting. I've learned so much from this man. And when I first met him, I thought, oh, this guy did too much acid. But what I really learned was how out of tune we are and how in tune he was with nature. We're so surrounded with technology, buttons, phones, that we become disconnected. If you want to know the weather, you watch the news or you call the weather channel. We don't use our instincts. We don't look around enough anymore today. And he taught me how to swim with a tiger shark. And my wife and I were standing in Foodland, and this was on the front page of the paper, and the people in front of us were arguing. One was saying, oh, that's beautiful, look at that. And the other one was saying, I don't believe they allowed him to put that in the paper. It's going to scare the tourists away. And my wife looked at me and she rolled her eyes, and I said, don't say one word. And I was diving and gathering squid for my kid's first birthday. And, it's growing up in Hawaii, and this is part of our culture, and this is part of what we do. And the photographer that took this picture, when I first came up with the first squid and he saw it on my back, he did a backstroke. He was like, what is this? But, it just shows what we have in Hawaii, what we have here in Maui. We are so blessed. And, again, as a Hawaiian, as somebody who lives and breathes, and my blood is filled with salt water, I try and do everything and share everything I do with the people that I meet in the world. And I see myself as an ambassador of Hawaii. And I'm always looking for new techniques, new technologies to express my love for the ocean. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen foil boarding, but here's a foil boarding video that you guys want to see. Okay. This year is in 2009. I had the opportunity to go down the Grand Canyon. I got invited by Explorer.org, and it was a very moving moment for me. Prepare to drop down in the rapid. The only thing you're thinking about is putting yourself where you need to be, most safest part of the rapid. It's like dropping into a big wave. There's no hesitation. There's no holding back. It's just a whole spiritual sense about this river. It's alive. There's so much life in the water itself. And I don't mean what's under the water. I mean the water. The water is alive. And I'm just really grateful because I've learned so much more about water than I would ever learn if I was just in Hawaii.
I don't want to let anybody down, physically, spiritually, mentally. Not only the people back home, but the people here, because I'm dedicating my paddle to the Indian people. It's dedicated to them.
Aloha, you guys, and thank you for everything on this journey. So it was October 2009. 17 days in the process, set a world record, 187 miles, first person ever stand up the whole Grand Canyon. But more importantly, what this was really all about was bringing awareness about our water resources and the knowledge that natives have in regards to water. I dedicated this paddle to a native Indian lady because her granddaughter told me that her mom was 87 years old and she still had to walk down to the river and scoop up her water in a bucket and take it home. And I thought to myself, this is America, that's crazy. We shouldn't have to do that in our own backyard. And in the process, Explore.org is supporting the native Indians in getting water connected to those native people. Today we have a famous surf spot called Piahi, and I think it's one of the new wonders of the world. It's like Niagara Falls. It should be a national park. I'm serious. And the reason being is because so much people come to Maui that are willing to drive down that muddy road, get their car stuck, just to see the waves that aren't there all the time. And you know what's really amazing is being able to live your dream is beyond. You know, a lot of people have dreams, but the biggest fear is to fulfill that dream, is to really, really live your dream. We all have dreams, but we're so afraid to take that step to the other side and live that dream. In 2004, I attempted to paddle from Molokai to Oahu, standing up, and they said it could never be done. And in 2004, I paddled 32 miles, 6 hours, 48 minutes, and it was the first time anybody had attempted and successfully paddled from one island to the other. Today, when you see people walking on water, you can partially blame me for that. And this is what we have today. Over 200 people compete in the Molokai to Oahu paddleboard race, standing up. I try and share my life learning experiences with the ocean safety officers of Maui. We have some of the very best lifeguards in our own backyard. And thank you. What people don't realize is they have a wealth of knowledge. They're not just beach boys anymore. what they bring to the table is they bring the ability to keep people safe. If you were to interview 100 people coming to this island, those 100 people would tell you that they're going to go to the beach while they're here. They all see the beauty. They don't see the beast that's hidden in the beauty. Our job is to make sure they stay away from the beast. This past year, I was inducted into the Kahanamoku Hall of Fame. And thank you. Thank you. But the truth of the matter is, there's so many more people that are deserving of this award, and there's so many people that walk in the light and the footsteps of Duke and the people of Hawaii. And I'm just really fortunate to be able to do that and express and be an ambassador for Hawaii, and more importantly for the people of Maui, and share what we do and what we have here in Hawaii. And thank you very much. In our journey in life, we seek balance. And balance for me right now, besides my time in the ocean, as the pages change, is spending time with my family and passing on the knowledge that I have to my kids. And these are my two beautiful girls and my wife that are my biggest supporters and allow me to do the things that I do in my life. But I also have a responsibility. When I ride those big 20-foot waves, I have to make sure that I'm mentally, physically, spiritually prepared. Because if I'm not, then you know what? It's not fair to them, because I have to come home. I have to take care of my family. So it's total focus, spiritually, mentally, all of the above. Eddie Aikau was a big part of why I'm here today. For those of you that don't know, Eddie grew up right here. This camp, there was a camp right here that was called Cannery Camp. And this is where Eddie lived, right here. This is where he learned to surf. And when I was 12 years old, I lived in Oahu from the time I was 2 till I was 14. And I used to go to Waimea Bay, catch the bus. And Eddie was a lifeguard there. And I used to go down there and I used to watch. I used to go body surf. And the bus was 10 cents. And one day I was on the beach and I was putting on my fins. And he was walking down the beach with the megaphone. And it was when all the military guys just got back from Vietnam. And, it was a different time. And there was this military guy. He had jeans on, he had a cast on, and he was drunk. And he was caught in the rip current. And Eddie was walking down the beach with the megaphone going, "You better swim, you better swim. If I gotta come out there, I'm gonna blank your boom." And you know what? I don't know if that guy was more afraid of being caught in the rip or of Eddie. But I was putting on my fins, and he caught me at the corner of his eye, and he said, "Not you, brother. I see you all the time. You're good." And I told myself, wow, when I grow up, I want to be like this guy. And, it's what we're doing. The Hokulea in 94 and 97, I had the privilege and honor to represent Hawaii and sail on Hokulea from Tahiti to Hawaii. It was thank you. Hawaii has so much to offer, from celestial navigation to voyaging around the world and to perpetuating our culture. When Hokulea first took sail, it was a catalyst to the revival of Hawaiian language, Hawaiian study, Hawaiian culture. There was a big revival, and we have Hokulea to thank for that. Live your dreams. Part of my dream was, riding tow riding my traditional gun, and I wanted to find out where I'm really from and what my culture is really all about. And this is Hawaii's gift to the world. And this here is called an Alaya board. And I really wanted to connect with my culture. And this thing works. But I fell deeply in love with this board because of how connected you needed to be with the water, how intimate you needed to have an understanding, or more importantly, a feeling of riding a wave. And I think those concepts, for me, applies in my everyday life. You know, life is like a big ride. It's like a big ride, and hang on and ride it to the end. Aloha. Thank you.